Bottom line first, most ERP failures don't happen because of bad software. They happen because we start configuring before we understand how we actually work.
What maybe we have learned through, I should say, through the decades, yeah. So I think that's a good sign of intelligence if somebody is actually able to learn from his mistakes. So let us see if we are able to learn from our mistakes, yeah, and if we can count ourselves towards the intelligent. And yeah, it's really funny, I would say. Maybe if somebody tells you, but Frank, what are you talking about? Yeah. Now we have a system. We can really here order automatically what we need for our production. Yeah. Last week, somebody said to me, Frank, we have now a system which we can order automatically for our production. And I said, hey, cool, you arrived at 1980. Yeah, 1980 was the time when was invented the MRP, yeah, material requirement planning, and finally they've arrived there. So only 45 years behind. Congratulations. Okay, so yeah, some are still stuck in history, I should say, yeah, and then they said, yeah, but we also have a web shop, yeah, and I said, okay, congratulations, you arrived at 1990, yeah, so only 35 years behind. Okay, so that is why we may think about what is happening actually in the ERP market, and to learn something from it, and also the recent developments. How do we understand them, and what do we do with them? So yeah, so I've brought a picture. Yeah, I've brought a picture because I distinguish between three phases of ERP development. Yeah, ERP transformation history, so to say. Yeah. So the first one on the most left side is the classic one. And the second one is the modern, as I call it. Yeah. And the right one, that's the postmodern. So if you if you have a certain love of philosophy or even history or something like this, this might not be completely new to you. Yeah, I've heard this classic phase of history and modern phase of history and postmodern phase of history, and the same could apply to, as we can say, ERP development. Okay, so what is the classical implementation? It's ERP mindset. Yeah, classical, typical is a consultant, yeah, coming in your company and say, tell me. And tells you what SAP can do, and then I can also show you what you can do. So it's like, yeah, you have bought SAP, yeah, and SAP predetermines what you can be able to do. Actually, it is the company has to fit to the software, so to say, yeah. And yeah, what is it? It is mainly configuration. Yeah, actually, if you look at the configuration. Let me make that a little bit different here. Yeah, so you can still see this wonderful image here, obviously generated by AI, but yeah, why don't use the cool things? Yeah, and it is the consultant is your craftsman. Actually, the consultant does know how to tweak and switch the configurations in your actually in your system. So nobody out of their right mind can even understand this. Yeah, if they are not trained to. Actually, it is some cryptic SAP type of language. Yeah, and only the deeply I can show you actually. Yeah, so if you want to see that. Yeah, here. yeah, so that would be, let me switch that. That would be like a configuration table from SAP S/4HANA actually, yeah, I must say, yeah. And yeah, it is somewhat EMG as we say, yeah. So, and then you go into any of these, yeah, you might search here, for example, document type or whatever here. Type. Here, assign sales document types permitted for sales areas. Who the heck knows what that means actually? Yeah, it is so cryptic. Yeah, what does it mean actually? Yeah, so yeah, of course, if you are an old SAP guy, yeah, working all the day with SAP, and then you do here some new entries. So then you have to select here. What does it mean? Yeah, and then you have this cryptical, yeah, and then the next cryptical, and so on and so on. So it is actually very, very rough. It is rough. Yeah, I should say very rough. And yeah, so actually you have to not only configure this one, but hundreds, if not even sometimes thousands, yeah, of these tables, cryptical tables. Yeah, so that is what you have to do, and that is what, and that is why you have these consultants, yeah, because the consultants know, and you trust the consultant. Okay, you can count here how many these are, and I would say, at least 1,000 or something like this. Yeah, what do you do? Yeah, then you run to the consultant, and you ask him, and yeah, he is the one who knows the secret buttons, what to press actually. So that your configuration, your SAP system does what it should do actually, yeah. And it's no like your own. You have the feeling you don't own your own processes actually, yeah. It is the consultant maybe, I don't know, owns the processes, but I'm not sure if even the consultant would talk about processes, yeah. Maybe the consultant talks about functionalities, yeah, or features and functions actually. So that is, and yeah, so you might say, okay, why is this so bad? Yeah, that's what we have always done, and that's what we are doing also right now, and it's not so bad. It works, yeah, yeah, okay, it works sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah. For example, I recently had this discussion. I saw this discussion on LinkedIn. Yeah, somebody was complaining about the Lidl project, and it was in the press actually. Yeah, and the SAP tried to implement SAP. No, Lidl tried to implement SAP. Yeah, and after spending $500 million, no, euro, dollar. I think it was euro, 500 million euro. They found out the Lidl processes, the processes that Lidl wants to have in the future, it doesn't fit to SAP processes. Okay, we can discuss a lot about this, yeah, but let us assume this statement is correct, yeah. So, yeah, some companies may say, yeah, okay, our processes we want to have them differently like SAP. Yeah, okay, this is everybody's right. That's a free country, and everybody can do what they want, obviously. Yeah, and if that is processes, sometimes they are processes that are also old processes. Yeah, and sometimes the old processes are good, and sometimes the old processes are just old. So sometimes you want to have better processes, but I don't want to discuss this. So let's assume Lidl was right. And saying, okay, yeah, our processes don't fit. And what I'm telling here is just my personal opinion from outside of the project, of just what I read in the press. Yeah, so nothing about I wasn't part of that or something like this. It's just my opinion. So now the question I raise is, why do you need 500 million to find out that your processes don't fit to SAP processes? Why do you need 500 million for that? Yeah. So I just wrote into the discussion and said, yeah, well, ever heard of process models? I don't know what I should say. I mean, yeah, that is the old mindset actually. You go into it, you rush into it, you configure your system, yeah, you tweak it, you do something, and after spending lots of money, yeah, lot of money, you find out maybe this process is not so ideal, this process is not so ideal, and I find it all over again and again and again. I find it all over. Yeah, in companies. Yeah, yeah. We have implemented this ERP system. Yeah, but yeah, the processes don't work. Yeah, surprise, surprise. I should say. Yeah, for you, baby. Yeah. So that's why, for example, I should say Lidl, just a guess, yeah. So if they would have had already their own process models, yeah, I think they would have, I don't know, not 500 million, but maybe 5,000 euro, you know, something like this, to find out that the processes don't fit, yeah. And if they don't have their own process models, maybe you want to first create the process models, yeah. You want to model the process model, maybe that cost 50,000 euro or something like this, yeah. If it is quite expensive or extensive, 50,000 euro, and then you can still find out that the processes don't fit. So, in finding out if the processes fit or not, spending 50,000 euro or 500 million is quite a difference. So why do people still do this old mindset? I don't understand it. I mean, it's now already known since some time, I would say, that it is better to do process modeling, actually. But still, I must say, there are some also, yeah, other partners, SAP consultants or whatever, they say, no, we don't do it. No, we don't do it. Just implement the ERP system and everything will be fine. The best processes are in the ERP system. Yeah, you can say this. But then after a while, yeah, I must be careful what I say. So what I want to say is, it's a mixture of, I don't know, maybe people don't know or people don't want to. Yeah, it's always a leaving the comfort zone. It's so comfortable in this configuration here. Yeah, yeah, I know it. I'm the only one who knows it. Yeah, and everybody's asking me and giving me his money. So that's not the right way to do it. And okay, let me say it. It is the right way to do it after you have done the process modeling. Yeah. Of course, you need to configure your system. Yeah, but first clarify the processes. Yeah, of your company. Clarify how they fit to SAP. That is so-called fit to standard. Yeah, and then configure the system. And don't start a configuration nightmare that lasts for months. But clarify your processes, the workshops, and then after you've clarified the processes, do the configuration. But then the configuration takes days instead of months, or even years.